Alright, welcome back for the tutorial using the Titan building block series. We're looking at a circular part this time. You could do this on a lathe or a mill, but you'd need a very special lathe in order to do the bolt hole pattern surrounding the central pocket. So we're going to create this part and then basic shape, create the bolt holes and the pocket and O-ring groove. So let's get started. So on your screen now you can see the drawing of the part, sheet 1. You should also have a paper copy. And looking at the sheet, we can see that we're going to need to create a circle, 1.95 in diameter and a thickness of 0.75 when we extrude it. So let's begin. So here we are in Fusion. As always, we'll create our first sketch on the top plane. The next step, as always, rename it to keep ourselves organized. Call it basic shape. Next thing we should do is save it. So open the data panel, navigate to the class that we're in this case Skills 11, navigate to my name, navigate to building blocks, and save it as Titan 3M. Ignore the fact that I just typed 2M. We all make mistakes. Once it's saved, close the data panel and start drawing. So first thing we're going to get is a circle tool, or hit C for circle, snap to the origin, 1.95. Enter. Finish the sketch, head over to extrude and extrude it negative 0.75. Hit enter, and that's it. There's our basic shape. Let's move on to sheet 2. So on sheet number 2 in front of you, we can see that we have a bolt hole center of 1.626 to create, holes that must reach a depth of 0.375. As there's no minimum specification, that is the depth that must be. The thread is 10/32 Unified National Fine and a 2B thread with a chamfer of 0.205. Let's begin. So we'll start by creating another sketch on the top surface of our part. We'll rename it bolt holes and enter. What we need to do now is create the bolt hole center. It's easy to do. We'll just create a circle. We'll snap to the origin and give it a dimension of 1.626. Enter. We'll place a point and we'll place it on the circle, and then we'll snap it using constraints to horizontal, vertical, and make sure that it is where it needs to be. We'll hit finish sketch, go to create hole, and we'll click on the point. Don't worry about how crazy that looks. We're going to change it. So we can see that we need a countersink for our chamfer on our hole. We're going to need to enter 0.205 for our chamfer and a depth of 0.375. So 0.375 for our depth. And enter. Our chamfer will be 0.205. We'll head on up to the top there and click on threaded so that we can get the thread options. Scroll down. Make sure we select number 10, which is already selected here. We'll change it to 10/32 and 2B and click modeled and hit OK. So we'll create our bolt holes now. So what we'll do is we'll select our initial hole down in our timeline. We'll move up to create, click on pattern, circular pattern, and we'll click axis, select the center there, and it gives us 3. We'll change that to 6 holes, and There we go, enter, or click OK, and we have our holes. And that is the end of sheet 2. Now we're on to sheet 3. As you can see, we have a central pocket, 0.5 inch deep, that we need to create, and we have a O-ring groove to create around the perimeter of that pocket. So let's begin. So to begin, as always, we're going to create a new sketch, rename it for organization, and begin our drawing. We'll call this pocket / O-ring groove and hit enter. We're going to start by creating 3 circles based on the center origin. Coming out, we'll start with 1.125. Enter. We'll right click and select repeat center circle. Click our origin. Again, we'll enter the next dimension, 1.180. Enter. And repeat this one more time with 1.320. Enter. We'll finish our sketch. We'll then extrude. Extrude the center pocket first, -0.5. Enter. And then we'll extrude. We'll have to turn the sketch back on and extrude the O-ring down, -0.07. And hit OK or enter. Alright, last but not least, turn off the sketches. Looks nice. Just need to do our final chamfers to break all the sharp edges. We don't usually break the edges in the O-ring groove, so we won't do that. We'll click chamfer. We'll click the outer, top and bottom, and the inner bore. And type in 0.01. Enter. And that's our Titan 3M complete. Save your work, and as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.